Think for a moment about how often people confuse success with sudden, miraculous events. We are constantly bombarded with stories that make it look like someone rose from obscurity to greatness in a single moment, overnight successes, instant fame, quick money. But if you look closer, if you actually trace back the lives of people who achieve something meaningful, you'll find years of preparation hidden beneath the surface. You'll see sacrifice, you'll see relentless work, you'll see an incredible capacity to endure the slow grind. The illusion of overnight success is just that, an illusion, and the first principle we must come to terms with is this: success is a journey, not an event. When I say success is a journey, I don't mean a leisurely walk where everything unfolds easily. It's more like climbing a mountain where the air gets thinner the higher you go. It's exhausting, it's often lonely, and sometimes the path forward is unclear. But the climb itself is what transforms you. Each step tests your commitment, your courage, and your willingness to carry on when things don't seem to be moving in your favor. People fail not because they are incapable of reaching the summit, but because they expect the summit to appear too soon. They give up halfway, thinking the journey is taking too long, when in fact they were only a few steps away from the breakthrough. Hard work is the fuel that propels you up that mountain. Without it, there is no movement, no forward progress. You can dream all you want, you can visualize the peak in your mind, but unless you're willing to put in the daily grind, the early mornings, the disciplined study, the sacrifices of pleasure for purpose, you won't move. Success is built on habits, and habits are nothing more than hard work repeated day after day until they form the foundation of who you are. Think about a student preparing for a major exam. If they only study the night before, hoping to cram everything in at once, they're relying on luck, not effort. But if they dedicate themselves to consistent study every day, even when it's boring, even when there are distractions, they build the knowledge and resilience that almost guarantees success. But here's where most people stumble. They may accept that hard work is necessary, but they expect instant feedback. They think that because they've worked tirelessly for a few weeks or even a few months, the world owes them immediate results. And when those results don't show up, frustration builds. This is the second principle: growth happens in the waiting. This is where patience enters, and patience is not passive. It is active discipline. Patience is the ability to hold yourself steady in the gap between effort and reward. It's the realization that what you plant today may take years to bear fruit, and that doesn't mean you've failed. It means the roots are still forming. Imagine a farmer who plants seeds and then digs them up after 2 days, demanding to see growth. It's absurd. Yet many people do the same with their goals. They try for a short while, then abandon the work because the outcome hasn't yet appeared. They never give their efforts the chance to mature into something meaningful. Patience is the space where character is formed, because it's in the waiting that you learn whether your commitment is genuine or superficial. It's easy to stay motivated when the rewards are immediate. It's far more difficult to remain committed when you feel invisible, when the world doesn't notice, and when progress can't be measured in visible increments. But let me tell you something, your greatest growth is happening precisely in those moments. When you persist without applause, you develop resilience. When you continue without external validation, you cultivate self-reliance. And when you hold steady in silence, you sharpen the strength that will make you unstoppable when the breakthrough finally arrives. There's something deeply paradoxical here. The more you are willing to wait, the faster your growth actually occurs. Because waiting properly is not stagnation, it's preparation. The person who waits while still working, while still refining, while still learning, is building internal power that cannot be seen from the outside. Consider the process of weight training. You don't get stronger in the gym itself, you get stronger in the recovery period that follows. The body tears down during training, but it rebuilds during rest. That rebuilding phase, the waiting, is just as critical as the workout. Without it, the growth would never come, and this extends far beyond physical training. Think about relationships, careers, businesses, personal transformation. Every meaningful pursuit involves a waiting phase. You don't build trust overnight. You don't master a craft in a few weeks. You don't create a legacy by sprinting. You build all these things slowly, steadily, brick by brick, year after year. And it's precisely in that slowness where you develop the patience that ensures your success isn't fragile. Because here's the truth, fast success collapses easily. It can be destroyed by the first storm that comes. But success that is forged in patience, built over time, becomes unshakable. Now, let me challenge you with a thought. Why do you think we live in a culture that despises waiting? It's because waiting forces us to confront ourselves. In the silence of patience, distractions fade, and you're left with the question of whether you truly believe in what you're working for. Impatience often masks insecurity. People rush because they're terrified that maybe they're not good enough, maybe they're not capable, maybe they'll never reach their destination. Patience, however, is an act of faith. It's the declaration that what you're building is worth the time it takes, worth the struggle it demands, and worth the perseverance it requires. And let's not mistake patience for laziness. Some people hide behind the word patience as an excuse for inaction. They say, I'm just waiting for the right moment. But what they're really doing is avoiding the work. True patience is not the absence of effort, it is the alignment of effort with time. It is working diligently, knowing that the reward may not come today, but believing it will come eventually. It's the ability to say, I will give everything I have today, and I'll still be here tomorrow, and the day after, and as long as it takes. Think of the bamboo tree, a story often told but rarely understood deeply. When you plant bamboo, nothing appears above the ground for years. You water it, you nurture it, you protect it, but there's no visible growth. Then suddenly, in the 5th year, it can shoot up several feet in just a matter of weeks. What was happening during those years of invisibility? The roots were expanding, anchoring the plant, preparing it to sustain rapid growth when the time came. That's what patience does for you. It gives you roots before it gives you height. Without roots, rapid growth leads to collapse. With roots, rapid growth leads to strength. And here's where the combination of hard work and patience becomes powerful. Hard work ensures you're planting seeds daily. Patience ensures you allow those seeds the time to grow. Together, they guarantee that your success will not only arrive, but it will endure. Without hard work, patience is useless because you have nothing to wait for. Without patience, hard work is wasted because you give up before the harvest arrives. But let me ask you, are you willing to endure that waiting period? Are you willing to keep moving when nothing seems to be changing? Are you willing to stay the course when everyone else has given up? Because if you are, you will separate yourself from the majority. Most people quit not because they lack talent, but because they lack patience. They're unable to withstand the silence of growth, the hidden work, the unseen progress. But if you can endure that silence, you'll reach levels that others only dream of. Let's be honest. It's painful to work hard and see no immediate reward. It's frustrating to give your best and feel unnoticed, but this is precisely the test. It's not about whether you can work when results are obvious. It's about whether you can work when results are hidden. Because that is the true measure of discipline, that is the essence of faith, and that is where greatness is forged. Not in the spotlight, but in the shadows where no one is watching, where no applause is given, where progress is invisible. And here's the secret. If you stay consistent, if you keep building, if you remain patient, one day the results will appear suddenly as if overnight. People will look at you and call it instant success. But you'll know better. You'll know it was years of invisible labor, countless hours of preparation, and an unshakable patience that made it possible. And that knowledge, that inner understanding, will make the success sweeter than anything instant gratification could ever provide.